Good morning, fellow peeps and folks. I'm Allie, and today we are watching something new, which is called Loki. Yeah, something really different than I usually do. Like, usually, I'm doing cartoons and anime, but this is live action. This is a Marvel series. And, yeah, that's kind of, weird in that regard. The last time that I actually did something live action was when I tried to do Sabrina, but I got like 5 episodes. This only has 6 episodes, so if I would feel like it, I could just, do it anyway, and probably be fine with it. But that had a lot of other problems, like it was copyright stuff. I was still cutting up the episode into chunks that totaled 10 minutes and stuff. So technically this is gonna be different. I'm gonna do what I recently started to do with everything. I will just have a timer and maybe leave like a little sliver of the actual episode like I do with the subtitles, but I don't have subtitles for this. Yeah, I don't know how I will do it exactly, but I'm feeling much more confident watching Loki than I did with Sabrina, because I'm actually invested this time. I am interested, and I love Loki. I am a big fan of Marvel, even though they had some iffy things, but respect for building up that MCU and stuff. So I am interested in watching this show. I may not have read the comics, but I think that's fine. I've watched almost every movie in the MCU, and I also know about the actual Loki, the I cannot talk. The Norse mythology Loki. So if there are references, I hope I'm gonna get them. Because, the trickster god, whose tricks basically all fail spectacularly. Really, it's interesting. Read a Norse mythology book if you haven't already. There's not much of story. Like, there's not much that has been brought along. Because, there have only been a handful of stories. The 2 cycles, the Thor cycle and the Baldur cycle. And yeah, you can fit it in a small book. If you don't, flourish it more. But yeah, Loki. What do I expect? Honestly, I expect Tom Hiddleston to put on the best Loki he can be. And that we not only, basically talk about and, I don't know, that we don't only tackle the storylines that we already know from the MCU and stuff. That there's something new, something interesting, hopefully. I mean, I've heard a lot of good things, so I'm not really worried about there not being something interesting. Yeah, I don't know what else to expect. I'm just expecting a good time. So, yeah, that's basically it. So, why don't we just, start? So, here we are. This first episode is called Glorious Purpose. And yes, you definitely have a glorious purpose. Yeah. I don't know. I can't really predict much of it. I just want to know. I just want to watch. This is 50 minutes long. The others should be pretty much in that range too. I don't know, 53, 40, 47, 48, 45. Okay. So, we have kind of ranging in between 40 and 52 or 53. So those are long, but yeah, I'm gonna put a timer. Maybe I'm gonna put a sliver of my, well, not my screen, I'm not screen recording, I have files, but like a sliver of the file that hopefully doesn't get like copyright claimed, so I don't get problems. But you can still see a part, so you can sync it up better. Or I could, you know, try to put the sound in like very softly so that you could sync it up. I'm not sure. And someone just came home. Give me a minute. So that was my dad, who apparently forgot some tool for work. I'm sorry if you heard something about that, but I'm cutting that out. I think. I hope. Because that has been a conversation. But yeah, Loki, season 1. I hope we'll get more seasons. Episode 1, Glorious Purpose. Let's go. In 3, 2, 1, and go. New York City. Alright. 2012, wasn't that? Yeah, directly after the fight. Yeah. I remember that. That was the part where in Endgame they did the stuff. Yep. That was a great part because Loki seemed so weirded out. Yeah. Right. That was when he took the Tesseract. All makes sense. For now. Yeah, okay, so we're starting with that scene. It's only been a few weeks since I rewatched Endgame, so I should be on track for that. Yeah, the somber music. Well, an era has ended, but Loki's still there. Somehow he's still kicking. All right. So looks like a desert. Yeah, definitely a desert. Gobi Desert in Mongolia. Okay. And there he is. How long have you been falling, friend? At least you're alive. Yeah, you gotta deal with the natives. What are you gonna do? Do they understand you? Yeah, they probably don't understand you. Never mind. Okay. Variant. Okay. Sacred timeline. Okay, that's interesting. But okay, he's the variant that changed something, so there's multiple timelines, and he's the cause. Yes. I doubt it, though. I doubt it. Yeah. Okay, that face. Okay. I get it. Oh. Oh, okay. So it wasn't just a slow-mo effect, it was actually just her hitting him resulted in him moving slower. Nice. Okay. So they're trying to avoid branching timelines. And that helps them do it? So they're just erasing this whole timeline. Okay. I guess. I watched Voltron until the very end. If any of you have seen the last season of Voltron, I know how erasing timelines works. Or just worlds, basically. The branches. I love their weapons. Like putting him where he was a few seconds before. I like that concept. Sure. Okay. What is that behind him? It's a robot. Oh gosh, that smile. Sure. Wow, he's just deleting the clothes. Okay. Hey, at least you're dressed now. It's a cat. Everything he's ever said. How would you know that? Damn. That guy now has on his list and this, so it's not really better. This is really weird, but amusing. Because Loki is really not used to being treated this way. Does he, though? I don't know. Maybe someone doesn't know that they're a robot. Oh no, are you a robot, though? How very worried he just is. Like, it could be, I don't know. People have lied about my heritage so long. Okay. Is that for the bad people? Probably. Fun. Yeah, always gotta follow procedure. It's amusing how annoyed he gets. It's not a mistake, you actually did what they accuse you of. Aww. Alright. Mm-hmm. Nice. Old animation. Okay. Makes sense. Oh no. Okay. Alright. Sure, the art style reminds me of something. Sure. Nice exposition dump. Yeah, apparently. Okay, someone just got erased. Maybe not do that, yeah, if you have any self-preservation hopes. Yeah, I have a ticket. I don't want to be deleted. Thank you. Ooh, nice. How they changed the fonts. Because, you know, changing, it works. It works for Loki. Okay, interesting exposition dump. So the whole multiverse stuff in other like movies or shows or whatever, like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, it hasn't happened like that because, you know. Okay. So they're like time detectives. Well, make the kid forget. Every language on the timeline is pretty interesting knowledge, a lot. A stick figure. Aw, that's cute. Alright, some sort of devil creature. Apparently. Something that doesn't belong here. Alright, that's a hint. Oh. Okay, so they don't have to make the kid forget because the timeline is gonna be eradicated either way. That's sad. Alright. That's Loki's file. Mm-hmm. Of course. You are. Sure. Makes sense. That's true, actually. Sure. Oh, so they planned the time travel. What? The ones who decide destiny, apparently. Sure. Alright. Yeah, no. I think the color they gave you is preventing you from doing stuff. You're making a fool of yourself. Or it's the place. Uh-oh. Damn. Alright. Are you trying to recruit him? Okay. You're not gonna be reset. Good news. Ooh, nice background. Really sophisticated and chaotic. Like, there's a lot going on there. Cars in the air and stuff. Interesting design. And that statue is the timekeepers, I guess. Alright. Mobius, okay. Yeah, he definitely likes to talk. Alright. Apparently. Space lizards. Fun. I like Mobius already. Snarky comebacks. I'm digging it. Alright. That's gonna be an identity crisis. I love that one. I like those gadgets. They're making use of time travel without actually breaking much. Alright. Those who kill. Huh. What are you gonna do? I think he understands. Yes. That's a good question. Space is big, yeah. Okay. Hmm. Wow. Ironic thinking about the whole one true timeline thing, the sacred. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no need to defend yourself there. We know you're smart, but you also have interesting ambitions, so. Alright. Let's see. New York. Okay. uh, Having to watch the Avengers. Not the moment. Yeah. Makes sense. Well. Are you though? Ooh, they're really getting under the skin. Yeah, in Norse mythology, he played weird little tricks that almost always backfired. He didn't want to rule the world. Not that I remember. Alright. Flashback, I guess. Alright. 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 Oh gosh. Alright. Yeah, they were like, okay, that's entertaining. Let's do this. Sure. Oh. I want to know that too. Why would it be? All right. Oh, that part. Oh gosh. When he made them kneel. Okay. Hmm. Makes sense. But yeah, he doesn't know that because it hasn't happened to him yet. Yeah, because you deviated from the timeline. All right. I mean, it's not really, but mm-hmm. Yeah, that happened. I mean, not for him right now, but it happened in the MCU. Oh, trigger. Hmm. All right. The Avengers. When they were still so innocent. Oh, a lot of stuff happened that didn't really happen yet, but it did kinda because they know. Wow. That's why I usually stay away from time travel stories because they're so confusing. But like if they're like traveling in time either way, why do they have a time limit on when to go where? It wouldn't matter, right? Oops. Oh no, he's not here. He's probably hiding somewhere. He's good at hiding. Or he went somewhere, yeah. Alright, so using the loopy thing. Alright. Yeah, I think Mobius is your only chance of survival in this thing. He's the only one who actually wants to keep you alive. What's a fish? Oh, that's sad. But yeah, I know that meme basically with him asking the name before he threatens them very personally. That wasn't really a surprise for me. That's like the only thing I've seen from the show though, and a crocodile. Those are like the things I've seen. Ugh. Really? Wait, what? Well, that's weird. Now he's actually like, well, shit, this is actually a place that's way out of line from everything I know. If they even have, like, lots of infinity stones. Probably collecting them from all the timelines they reset. Well, no chance to think about it at the moment. Poor Casey. Hope you get away from your desk someday and see a fish. Back here. You know, if you don't want to be found, go away and then go right back where they started to look. It's technically a good strategy, you know. That would be the last place they look. Because they've already looked before. Yeah. Your mom. Dead. That part. Yeah, maybe I should rewatch all the Thor movies. But no, I remember the stuff from Ragnarok. When he actually helped them. Yeah. But he doesn't know that. It's not all bad, you know? Except, you know, that's where you die. That's the problem if you can see your future. You can also see your death. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That can't be fun, watching your own death that hasn't happened, but that is supposed to happen. Yeah. And that's where it ends. Because that's the end of your life. End of file. Life file, same thing. Yeah, you're losing it. He's questioning it all. I mean, fair. Yeah, you're not gonna get out of that. I mean, I guess that works. Wow. Now he's playing with it. Well. Aww. That's the one. So, what you gonna do? No. Not really. Because another one of you exists there. Okay. All right. Yeah. A purpose? All right. Another version of him? Salina, Oklahoma. Which year? 1858. Okay. Oh, I like the music. It's always so atmospheric when they do that kind of background score. Okay. The other Loki version? Okay. Now the oil makes sense. That was planned all along. Yeah, you're not getting away. Mm-mm. Not activated. So we're not getting a face. Alright. That was episode 1. Marvel Comics, of course. I haven't read the comics, like I said, but I don't think it's necessary to understand. At least from this episode, it didn't seem like you needed the comics to understand it. Tom Hiddleston is the executive producer. Okay. That's always nice to see when, like, the actors are actually also kind of like in the production part too, because they know their character best, and it usually makes for a better story. Music by Natalie Holt. Thank you. It's good background music. Sets the atmosphere. Costume designer. Yeah, I'm just gonna play the credits every time. Because why not? Why wouldn't you do it? Of course. Like, is that like end credit thing, or is that like the intro that we now got at the end of the episode and will get at the beginning? Because it seems a lot like an intro sequence. I don't know. But it's very long for an intro sequence. Tara Strong! Oh gosh, I only know you as a pony! Like, it's very long for an intro sequence, so I'm very curious if that is just, like, the outro. Or if they will use something of it for an intro. Or if there won't be any intro, like it was here. Georgia! I was in Georgia once, but I didn't visit the Marvel Studios. Because I didn't have the capacity to do it, because I didn't have a car. And getting away from campus without a car was really, really hard. Like, there were only a few buses you could take, and the buses were blah. I was happy to be able to go to Walmart, like, once every month. Okay. Yeah, you definitely feel that the episodes are longer, that it's not like a 20-25 minute thing, but you're sitting here for double the time, basically. So, okay, the credits are still going like more than a minute. This time I will just keep them going. Is there like end credit scenes in those episodes? It's Marvel, you never know. So this time I'm gonna, keep rolling it through to see. But if there's nothing, I will just, when it starts doing the just normal credits on black screen and stuff, I'm rolling it through this time because, just giving credit to everyone. I'm probably gonna... the thing is, I'm not even putting it on screen. It's, like, syncing up and stuff for you, so... It's not even giving credit to people. But, just, which means I'm probably not gonna do it. Thank you, Tara. Okay, so I'm probably, if they're doing something like that with the like little voice there in the end, then I'm probably gonna like skip through most of it and just listen to the rest, if that's how it works. But yeah, that was Loki. Episode 1, Glorious Purpose. Well, that was a thing. Okay. Let's just go and go through the whole, well, maybe not the whole thing, but it was pretty, there was a lot of exposition, but I like that they kind of, I mean, yes, there was like the little exposition dump we had when the whole, animation sequence there with Tara narrating happened. But otherwise, like, they gave it in chunks, and it was explained well to understand it, even if you haven't read the comics. But maybe it's just, yeah, okay, let's just go from what happened. We see the scene after the Battle of New York, where in Endgame, people traveled back to get the Tesseract so that they can use it, that was obviously the failed version of the plan. That's why they did the other stuff after that. But yeah, of course, in Endgame we actually see Loki taking the Tesseract and just going somewhere. I'm curious if they planned that they would do a show about that, and saw it as like, okay, we're gonna put this in there to have this vantage point here, to have this little event where we can explain everything. Because of course, Loki was like the character in the MCU who, well, faked his death a lot of times. Someone thought he was dead, he wasn't dead, and so on and so forth. But obviously the Thanos thing, everyone was like, okay, if he faked his death again, it's just too much. And it doesn't seem like it. Like, if they get him back again like that, it would be just, kind of like a cop-out. And how did they do it? They just took a different timeline Loki. Why not? I mean, it works, and it makes for a compelling story, because he is someone who hasn't really he hasn't done anything apart from what we've seen until the first Avengers movie. Like, everything in front of that, yeah. Everything after that, not so much. So it's not really a blank slate, but closer to it. But yeah, we have the thing that he takes the Tesseract, that a new timeline forms, and that timeline is supposedly not the one that the Timekeepers want. I mean, we know that because stuff happened. And now he's being prosecuted. Well, that works out, I guess. So, I'm usually staying away from time travel stories. That's why I was also iffy about Endgame. Because time travel is very, very difficult to do. Which is why I was like, okay, Endgame, we're traveling back in time. I don't know if this will work, really. I mean, of course, if you have the whole multiverse explanation, that kind of, works. You can just explain everything as, yeah, we're just forming a new branch of the timeline. It's fine. Like, there's gonna be a timeline where this doesn't happen, but in this one it does. Of course. But there's also, like, time travel stories that don't have that, and that have the whole thing of, like, okay, we have just, the one timeline, but everything already happened, so when we go back, that stuff that we do there already happened and already affected our present and stuff. It's very difficult to do. And that is why I will never write a time travel story. Here we have the whole, the concept of the multiverse is being brought down to the, the little things, the one sacred timeline. So, the Timekeepers are basically the fates, right? Like, they're the ones that decide what actually happens. So if anyone is talking about fate, it just means, yeah, that's basically what I had to do in the timeline that the Timekeepers approve of. But yeah, we're coming to that discussion later. First of all, okay, Loki is being apprehended by the TVA. That's fun. I already like Mobius because, he can do snarky comments to Loki and confuse him. That is always good because it makes for an amusing, scene and stuff. But yeah. First of all, like, the whole annoying Loki more and more was very fun to watch. It didn't really do much for, like, the end of the story, like, what actually results from that. When Mobius comes into play, it's, like, more stuff. So, the first scene we have with Mobius is when, he's basically being detective and stuff. And, then he's being called and he's getting the Loki we're following in this. He's giving him a chance to do something different. Yeah, so they're watching his life until there, kind of things that happened, and then they're watching something that hasn't happened yet. And that is where the psychological thing actually, comes in. And I really liked how they did it, because, of course, Loki would not believe in not having a choice. And the thing is, that's not the case. Like, he does have a choice. Just most of those choices don't survive and are being reset. that's kind of how it is. So it's interesting to think about, like, just the timekeepers who actually, like, just because there are so many people on Earth, like, there's so many things that could diverge. They don't know. Like, I don't know how much it really diverges, how much branching off actually happens. Like, I mean, sure, they made it seem as if that's pretty rare and doesn't really happen that often, and everyone's just following their dedicated path, but honestly, I mean, there's a lot of split-second decisions that could go either way, really, so I would think there are, like, a lot of branching out things going on. And that would be a lot of work for the timekeepers. But I guess since they kind of have the whole thing already, like everything that happens from past to present to future, maybe they already eradicated the, like, normal stuff, and now there's only, like, the things that are deliberately done. Could be. So, yeah. Apparently what the Avengers did in Endgame was planned and was, like, signed off by the timekeepers, which is interesting considering that, like, Bruce had a whole talk about the branching timelines and stuff, and they were trying to explain it with, like, okay, and if we get everything back as it was before, then we don't change anything, so it doesn't matter. And then there was the thing about Steve staying in the past and, you know, kind of also doing something different there in the timeline. I don't know. Maybe you can just explain everything with, yeah, stuff like that happened, and we're keeping that timeline because why not, I guess. It's kind of confusing at some point, but I hope I understand it right. But I did like the identity crisis that Loki had about, like, do I have a choice or don't I? About freedom versus destiny and stuff. I really like that. Even if most of the time, it's not connected with time, I really like writing about, like, those dilemmas that are like, hey, there's a thing that dictates how I should live my life. Do I have a choice, or does every choice I make ultimately lead to that goal anyways? So it was nice to see him questioning stuff, and also, like, his own personality. When Mobius was asking him, hey, what makes you tick? Do you enjoy hurting people? And apparently he doesn't. It's just part of the character he plays, basically. I mean, yeah, it is, but you know what I mean. It was interesting to see, like, into the psyche of Loki. What else do we have? Oh yeah, the part where he's watching the things that haven't happened yet. Like, it started out with the death of his mom, which was sad. But there's also, like, the stuff, like, that was nice. Like, him being accepted by Thor and all that junk. So, like, there's not always bad things going on. He probably wanted to verify that it wasn't only, like, things that would make him suffer and stuff, and it wasn't. Like, he's not always suffering, but not always things are going great either. and then he watched his death, and that has to be... Damn, that has to be a lot, watching your own death. That hasn't happened yet, and won't happen for you because you're not in that timeline anymore. Also, like, the thing about them just having the Infinity Stones, because they probably just took them from all the timelines before they were reset, and they're like, yeah, well, they're normal here, and they don't work here anyway, so we can just use them as paperweights and decorative stones. Well, damn. Seeing how much trouble the Avengers had with acquiring them. Yeah, we shouldn't, like... It's good that nobody ever let Thanos get into the TVA and out again. Because, he would have won much faster. But yeah. So, technically, Loki was a little bit resigned. And then Mobius came in and said, yeah, we're looking for someone who's deliberately doing stuff and hurting people and creating alternate timelines. We don't know the reason, but it's you. And I guess there's gonna be multiple versions of Loki then. Why not? But that's pretty much this episode. Like, there was a lot happening, but you can basically... I've already talked for so long, so I can't really say you can summarize it short. Well, you can. Loki is a variant and did a different timeline and was apprehended because he did it. And there's a sacred timeline that is kept by the Timekeepers. And supposedly other versions of Loki are disrupting that, and after some internal stress and identity crises, Loki's probably gonna help, you know, catch the culprit. I think that's a good summary. Makes for a decent summary. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I can definitely feel that this has been a longer video and longer episode. Yeah, technically, yeah, I'm not gonna binge all of it. I think I don't have the time to do it. And yeah, it's probably not a good idea to do everything at once, but I'm definitely gonna do 1 or 2 more episodes. I need that first episode for like in a few days, so and I don't really have time in the next few days going up to that, so it was pretty much my last resort recording, which is weird because I did want to watch Loki for some time. But yeah, we started it and it's only a few episodes, so after that it's gonna be Owl House. But until then, we still have 5 episodes to go, so on this note, have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!